get it twisted. I'm really 10 toes to the pavement, getting to it, little baby. Yeah, I'm all about my business.
Yo, it's your boy King Say So, and I'm back with another reaction video. Today we got rappers getting robbed. Before we get to the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out the description box and follow my other channels. Make sure you hit that like button and watch the full video. We're currently on the road to 9K. More people hitting that like button, the faster we can get there. With all that being said, let's get right to it.
Rappers are natural targets for thieves. Part of the job description of being a hip-hop artist is rocking expensive jewelry and designer clothes, all while having to constantly interact with the public. Not to mention, many fans act like you've gotten soft if you hire security and don't hang out in the hood. That means even the most successful rappers can get ran up on. Here's a look at some of the most popular rappers who have been robbed. Drake. At this point, everyone knows who Drake is. He's a rapper and pop star from Toronto, Ontario, who also happens to be one of the world's best-selling musical artists. Today, the artist rolls around with a small army of security guards to prevent any negative energy. But before Drake was the biggest artist in the world, he used to move around solo.
Hey, fun fact, or however you say it. Drake don't write none of his music. Well, he don't write majority of his music. Yeah, you're a good artist. You got a ghostwriter, man. I mean, he's still the greatest, but hey, let's be honest.
Was even robbed at gunpoint back in 2009. On May 31st, 2009, the artist was on a date in his home city of Toronto with a woman named Chantel Brown. The two had dinner at a restaurant in the Little Italy section of the city, and after finishing the meal, they got back in Drake's SUV, which was parked across the street. Just after they got into the car, two gunmen walked up to the vehicle and demanded the rapper's jewelry and other valuables. The robbers ended up getting away with a diamond gold chain gifted to the rapper by his mentor, Lil Wayne, as well as an expensive Audemars Piguet watch and $2,000 in cash. In the middle of the robbery, a witness named Nicholas Carrillo saw what was going on and chased the robbers away. They took off in a getaway car but were pulled over by police after driving the wrong way down a one-way street. Upon getting caught, two passengers got out of the car and escaped on foot while the driver got arrested. One of the suspects who took off was later caught by police, but the other managed to get away. The two men caught were Socrates Cotterell and Paul Lelutu. They were arrested and charged with armed robbery, pointing a firearm, and possession of the stolen property after police discovered Drake's chain, watch, and some of the cash inside their car. However, they never found the guns used to commit the crime, which ended up hurting the case. At the time, Drake was a hot up-and-coming rapper, but not the superstar we know today. While initially he provided information to the police, he eventually stopped cooperating for fear that being labeled a snitch would hurt his rap career. Another Toronto rapper named Big Page started accusing Drake of being a snitch, even though they had collaborated in the past. He even went as far as releasing the paperwork to prove that Drake cooperated with the cops. However, the statement he released only proves that Drake was the victim of a crime. It doesn't say that he snitched. In the end, Drake decided not to testify in court, fearing that it would hurt his street cred. The victims ended up getting released for time served after already having spent about 6 months locked up. So the snitching rumors didn't exactly stick. Reflecting on the robbery and later interviews, Drake claims that he believes he was set up by none other than Chantel Brown, the woman he was out on a date with. He says that she had an expensive Louis bag with her that the robbers never even touched, even though it's probably worth more than everything else they took.
Oh,
he even
that's
raps
crazy,
about this event
bruh.
in his track The Resistance off his debut album The Resistance, saying maybe it was the fast-paced switch-up or the two guns in my face during the stick-up. Maybe because the girl I thought I trusted was who set the whole shit up. It's not clear what happened to Chantel Brown, but she and Drizzy are probably no longer on speaking terms.
Crazy.
At least the robbery taught young Aubrey a lesson, and after that, he started rolling deep with security. If you thought that was crazy, this next artist got robbed at gunpoint in San Francisco and took off running down the street. Here's what went down. 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz is a trap icon, with hits like Birthday Song and I'm Different. He dominated the rap radio airwaves in the early 2010s, but at the height of his success, a robber tried to run up on the Atlanta rapper and he immediately turned around and booked it. Surveillance footage obtained by TMZ shows the rapper and his entourage casually walking down the sidewalk in downtown San Francisco back in 2013. 2 Chainz and his crew are walking down the sidewalk, allegedly on their way to a weed dispensary, and suddenly an armed gunman approaches them from across the street, demanding jewelry. The rapper and security clearly weren't strapped. As soon as they see the gunman, they turn around and start running the other way. 2
I
Chainz starts
remember
speeding
that.
in
He
between
was
parked cars
booked.
to avoid
Outta
getting
there.
shot by the robber, but loses his balance after trying to get back on the sidewalk. The robber manages to catch up with him and allegedly stole his wallet and iPhone before running away. Although 2 Chainz is more of a rap character than a hardcore killer, he came up hustling in Atlanta and had a reputation to protect. The video was pretty embarrassing for the artist, and he tried to sweep it under the rug by tweeting, 1, when a rapper gets robbed, there's usually evidence posted online, and 2, when a rapper gets shot, he usually ends up dead or in the hospital. However, it was pretty hard for him to deny the robbery after the surveillance footage was leaked. He did an interview with Atlanta radio station 107.9. He says at first, he thought it was a prank, but after the dude started letting off shots, he knew it was real. Even though it was an embarrassing moment, at least 2 Chainz lived to talk about it. Neither he nor his security was.
Look, this is my only thing. You getting robbed don't make you weak or, you know the words. To be honest, the person that did it, that means you's a bum. You's a bum, bruh. You stole what he had because you couldn't take your own 24 hours and capitalize off of it and make something out of yourself for you to have whatever you think you're finna take from him. 2, even if you take a chain, a watch, whatever, you only thing you finna do is wear it. You can't sell it because artists get their names engraved on things. They have things that come with serial numbers. If they're smart, they get them what is it called? Appraised and insured. So therefore, once you go turn that in, and a jeweler runs that, especially nowadays, most legit jewelers, if you try to sell them a chain, they'll ask you for your ID. So therefore, your name is attached to that chain. So once they get to running it, they come to get you. So you're still F. That's why you see when a lot of rappers get their chain snatched, all the person does, oh, I got it. If you want it, come get it. Cause you can't sell it to nobody. You can't sell it to the jewelry store and get the money that you thought that they paid for it. So it's still, at the end of the day, that was, you did all that. He could have probably popped you. You probably would have had to pop him. All that for nothing.
Armed at the time, and it probably would have been much worse if they tried to confront the dude rather than booking
That
him
dog
like they
finna
did.
go to sleep.
It's only in rap that fans expect artists to be superheroes and stand up to armed robbers even if they get caught lacking. In an interview with DJ Vlad, 2 Chainz said he had to fire his security after the incident. It's their job to keep the rapper protected, yet they took off running with him as soon as the guy ran up with the gun. Hopefully, this robbery taught 2 Chainz and his entourage to move a little smarter. No matter how comfortable you feel in the city, being a well-known rapper automatically puts a target on your head. But if you thought that situation was crazy, this next rapper and his entire crew had their chains snatched on camera. But when an affiliate tried to get them back, it was revealed the chains were fake the whole time. Lil Mosey. Lil Mosey is a rapper and singer from Mount Lake Terrace, a city outside of Seattle, Washington. Mosey started popping off back in 2017 after his track Pull Up went viral and managed to rack up 25 million streams the first week. He's gone on to release several popular hits, including Blueberry Faygo, which features a Cole Bennett directed music video. Plus, Mosey was featured in XXL's freshman class of 2019. Mosey was 15 at the time that his first single started popping off, and is still only 19. Although most fans don't consider Mosey as a street artist, he does talk about guns and ops in his music, leading many to believe that he's about that life. However, his fan base is pretty young, and it doesn't take much to convince kids on the internet that you're harder than you actually are. But Mosey's street cred took a serious L after he and his crew got their chains snatched, and a video of the robbery got leaked onto the internet. In the video, a bunch of Seattle goons have him and his crew up against a wall and are lecturing them about being disrespectful. In the next shot, the crew shows off the chains which spell out "Band Kid" and claim they want $20K for their return.
Look,
in the video,
the
dude who stole the chain keeps saying how they don't have respect for him and his brothers, leading many to believe that Mosey and his crew were talking shit on social media, and the thieves pulled up to teach them a lesson.
Listen, bro. So I don't even know why you niggas look like y'all don't want this shit, bro. Niggas just gotta respect out of all my family, nigga. Why you niggas leaving, bro?
After the robbery, Lil Mosey took to social media to diss the robbers in a freestyle.
We out of here.
He didn't have that same type of energy when his chain was getting snatched. To make matters worse, another Seattle artist named 28AV managed to get Lil Mosey his chain back, only to find out it was fake. 28AV claims that he and Mosey had mutual friends, and he managed to pull some strings and get the chains back from the robbers. He reached out to Mosey and his camp a few times, and they didn't seem interested in getting them back. AV and his crew ended up making a video testing the diamonds and revealed that they were fake the whole time, which is probably why Mosey wasn't stressed about getting them back. In an interview with a local podcast, 28AV says that he did it because he felt disrespected by Mosey, who blew him off after he tried to do him a solid. Even though they aren't that tight, AV says that Mosey is representing Seattle and making the whole city look soft by letting something like that slide. The robbery must have made Lil Mosey reconsider how he was moving, because in August 2020, he was arrested on felony gun charges for carrying a concealed weapon. The rapper, along with his bodyguard and another associate, were pulled over in a black Escalade in LA for driving without license plates. When the cops pulled them over, they noticed an empty holster, which prompted a search, eventually uncovering 3 loaded 9mm semi-automatic pistols. The cops also found 4 credit cards in a backpack that did not belong to anyone in the vehicle. All 3 were arrested and charged with carrying a concealed weapon. Mosey, who had just recently turned 18, was released on a $35,000 bond. Although it's good that Mosey had beefed up his security, he may want to be sure that his bodyguard is holding legal weapons and not dabbed in credit card fraud on the side. Otherwise, he's gonna get himself mixed up in even more drama. But if you thought that was crazy, this next rapper got robbed by goons who filmed the whole thing. After the robbers tried to make it right through a mutual friend, the artist cursed them out through Instagram. NBA Youngboy. NBA Youngboy is a popular rapper and singer from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's one of the hottest artists of the generation of rappers who came up in the late 2010s and has been consistently releasing hits since his single 38 Baby took off in 2016. But unlike many rappers, it's well known that Youngboy is about that life. He's currently fighting a federal firearms charge that could put him behind bars for a long time and has a long list of past arrests that range from kidnapping to attempted murder. Check out our video on rappers who ran from the cops for more info on Youngboy's recent arrest. But before being wanted by the FBI, Youngboy was involved in a situation where a few robbers stole some petty cash from the cars in his garage and uploaded a video of the break-in to Instagram. Back in 2020, footage surfaced of a robbery that took place at Youngboy's home. The thieves recorded themselves going through the vehicles in his garage looking for valuables. They tagged a popular NBA Youngboy fan account on the post and demanded.
Why would you record yourself and then tag a fan page? I love this new generation for certain things, but that is something super, super dumb. You recorded yourself breaking into a famous person's house and then sent this to somebody, a fan page at that, and tagged them. Like, what is wrong? Like, people do anything for views and for clout, man. Like, that's super dumb. Dumb. The whole point when you do something, when you break into somebody's house, the whole point is to get away. Not snitch on yourself as you're doing it.
That the rapper give them $30,000 to get his stuff back. Youngboy took to Instagram not long after the robbery to call the thief stupid and claim that they only got away with some car keys, a $20 bill, and his cameraman's flip-flops. Then another video surfaced of Jay Prince from Rap A Lot Records claiming that he knew the robbers and they wanted to broker a deal. Jay Prince is a rap legend who has been a well-known figure in the Houston music scene for several decades. He is well respected in the hip-hop community and has been promoting artists and brokering various deals behind the scenes since the 80s. But Youngboy doesn't care much about the OGs and took to Instagram to say that he didn't rock with Jay Prince for putting his business out on the internet. He claims there are plenty of people around him that Jay Prince could have easily contacted if he wanted to make a deal, but posting his business online for everyone to see was just unnecessary. Jay Prince responded to Youngboy by saying that he was only trying to help and that the rapper was being a dumb boy with limited thinking abilities for disrespecting them for no reason.
You took my kindness for weakness because you're a dumb boy with limited thinking ability and disrespectful.
Both are a little bit in the wrong. Jay Prince probably should have contacted Youngboy directly rather than airing his business on the internet.
That's
but
facts,
Youngboy
though.
also shouldn't have cursed out a legend when he was just trying to help. The situation concluded after Youngboy confronted the thieves on Instagram Live. The rapper asked Youngboy if he wants to buy his stuff back, to which Youngboy responds by telling him that they didn't have anything valuable. Youngboy says he could care less about the stuff and he's only on live to find out where they are so he can smoke them. The robbers call him lame for threatening to kill him over $20, but then again, they did try to extort him
Y'all lame for breaking in his house,
over some
stupid.
petty cash and a pair of flip-flops. Luckily, no violence was ever committed over the robbery, which shows growth for the NBA team. However, they seem to have bigger things to worry about after being investigated by the FBI.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
glad he didn't go
Young
do
Boy will
that.
beat this weapons charge and get back to releasing bangers, or at least beef up his security so clout-hungry robbers can't just sneak into his garage and steal his homies' flip-flops. If you like this video,
That's great. He said he lame for wanting to do something to him. You lame for breaking in his house. And you lame for self-snitching on yourself, bruh. That's dumb, man. Make sure you like and subscribe. Catch you in the next video.
Look, don't get it twisted. I'm really 10 toes to the pavement, getting to it, little baby. Yeah, I'm all about my business.